action.
Next time, can I come with green hair?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we want you to dye your hair between the weeks.
It's awesome.
Yeah, feel free to go through like dramatic
Okay.
costume changes.
You guys are not gonna recognize her next time.
Great.
My name is Frances Burton. Frances Burton. My name is Frances Burton. I am 22 as of 2 days ago. I am 22 and 1 week. I'm 22. I am the VSG president. I am the student body president. I am the student body president. Oh shoot. Probably Jim Cooper.
Okay.
Yeah, one time he gave me his cell phone number, so I have never contacted him because I was too scared, but I have his cell phone number. Still Jim Cooper. And I saw him actually yesterday at the MLK event at TSU, and I was like, I have your phone number. He was speaking to a crowd of like thousands of people. Jim Cooper. I really haven't come a long way in 3 weeks. I would say things that I'm most proud of are all the sustainability initiatives that we've done. So there's been, I think, just a general switch in focus at Vanderbilt from that being like a sidebar issue that like we can recycle, but that's it, to it coming to like the focus as an actual like core value and where Vanderbilt's actually really leading the way in sustainability. So like, one thing that I'm particularly proud of is like we're about to launch the University Sustainability Advisory Council, which is like going to be a body that's made up of people from all across the university that's just making sure Vanderbilt is actually like getting on track to carbon neutrality and doing really cool things in the sustainability space, not just necessarily like meeting compliance. So that's like one example. Then generally in that space, like the reusable to-go box programs, and we started a reusable plates program, so student orgs can like rent out plates instead of having to just get like plasticware whenever they have big events. And then yeah, things kind of in that realm. So I would say probably the sustainability stuff. We talked about it a little last week, but we have done a lot of cool stuff in the green space, including starting a University Sustainability Advisory Council, which I'm really excited about because it's like getting closer and closer to the launch, so each week we're almost getting there. And then the reusable to-go box programs, reusable plates programs, the sustainable thrift shop last week that happened. We collected over, I think it was 2,000 items of clothing from students, and then had this thrift store where any students could come take whatever they wanted. So
I heard it cleared out super quickly.
Yeah, the original plan for the event was that it was going to be 5 hours over 2 days, and almost everything was gone within the first 2 hours, which is crazy, but like very exciting. So I know I've talked about sustainability. I think like since I know this is the last one I'm going to end on, is that what I hope beyond like the tangible like initiatives that we accomplished, we had kind of a different tone for what VSG is and what VSG can be, and just what student leadership at Vanderbilt looks like. Like, you know, you can dye your hair hot pink if you want to, and you know, like be yourself. It doesn't have to be like business formal all the time, like super intense. Like, and there can be like fun, and you can bring like personality and your whole self to those roles. So I think in terms of like within VSG, I've been proud of kind of like hopefully setting that tone. And then hopefully that's kind of like somewhat changed the image that people have of VSG on campus. I feel like this is very much the like washed up senior, you know, reflective vibes, but I think for me it's like making sure that I continue to care and prioritize, care about and prioritize all of the people that I've met in this stage in my life past Vanderbilt. Because I think Vanderbilt's been like an incredible 4 years, and part of me is like scared of, you know, going off into the real world, but I know that like what has made this year incredible, I mean not this year, these 4 years incredible is like the people in my life, and that's not changing. You know, the like spaces in which those relationships exist will change, but those people won't. I would say probably, as I kind of mentioned, my relationships in my life right now, and making sure that I'm using kind of the last couple months of college to fully appreciate this kind of like unique time in my life. I think I've said this every week, but like my relationships, and I don't know, I was talking about this yesterday. Like this semester I think has been the most challenging but also the most important to balance like having like a lot of fun and meaningful memories with kind of like academics and real world career stuff. So like that balance is really, really important for me right now. I would say like, I think again, this stage of life is very like up and down. I consider myself a generally confident person, but definitely have the like senior year vibes of like, oh my gosh, what's my life gonna be like in 4 months, you know? I would say so. You know, I'm feeling good this week. Last week, honestly, I was kind of, do you guys, you know, like birthday anxiety? I feel like birthday anxiety is really real, of feeling like the stress of like, oh my gosh, my birthday, like, do people care, like all those things. And so I had some birthday anxiety last week. Now that I'm past that, I'm feeling great, so. I think so. Oh my gosh. I think so. I think for me, like, I feel like successful, like feeling successful for me means like feeling fulfilled, and I feel very fulfilled in like the person I am, and I guess again like the time that I've had at Vanderbilt. I feel like that's the stage of my life that I'm at right now. I think yes, because I am proud of the person that I am and the people in my life and the relationships I have with them. I think so. Again, I think it's like how I measure my success is like if I feel happy and if I feel like I'm making an impact in the ways that I want to, and I feel like I am right now. Okay, if I have dyed hair, if I look like a different person, probably having slept more. I really want to see The Shining, so I hope to have seen The Shining by then. We just watched the trailer in one of my classes, and it's been like a bucket list item for a while, so I love scary things. Not just scary movies, but in general, I love scary things. So I was like, I gotta watch The Shining, so. Oh, another thing, more successful next week. One of my best friends is coming to visit this weekend, so having had like a really fun weekend with her and showing her Nashville. I knew this question was coming. More successful next week. I have an interview this weekend, so maybe if the interview goes well, I will be more successful then. But I guess like overall, I also didn't work out a lot in the past week, so I think if I worked out more from now to next week, that would be good too. Oh my gosh, if we continued this, and we just turned it into a weekly vlog. Tommy and I actually talked about this, so just know I'm open to it. So I would say like at the beginning of the year, definitely more. Because I feel like now it's like not as much. I'd say probably like once a day-ish, and sometimes more. Like during recruitment, it was a lot of, oh like, are you BSU president? Like, yeah, are you? Or like, that's not actually, I just never knew how to respond because I was like, yes, but how's your day going? Just like really not smooth with that conversation, you know? But, and I think on comments more so also, because I think just from like the founders walk speech, they all have like a vague memory of like my face somewhere. I would say still around like once a day-ish. Still probably like once a day-ish. Wow. not yes or no. Like I feel like it's never too much of a struggle when people, like it's never that bad when people are like, oh, like are you Frances? And I'm like, yes. And then it's like a fun way to start talking to someone, you know? And I'm like not that big of a deal. So I feel like it doesn't happen that much where I'm like Billie Eilish, where it would be, you know, make my life difficult or anything. So also it's kind of fun, like it's just like a fun way to like start talking to people, you know, and usually if they ask, they're interested in like campus life or have an idea or something. I don't really mind it. I kind of like, I feel like I have the right amount of anonymity. How do you say that word?
Anonymity?
That, I have the right amount of that. Where I'm like, you know, I feel like, I also just like Vanderbilt's such a fun place, like saying hi to everyone. That's another thing I'm trying to appreciate for the last couple months of senior year, because I'm like, one also I just get to like walk around and see so many people in one place that like I know and love, or at least like know and like, that I like enough to like say hi, and I feel like love is really, you know, a strong word, so, but there are just so many people in Vanderbilt who I'm like, I'm happy that you're in my life and I'm happy to see you, so. I like knowing a lot of people and being able to just, you know, have kind of a, I don't know, it's nice to kind of like constantly be like meeting strangers and have people who are like, oh, like, are you the president? And then you can like get started talking. So I enjoy that. I also feel like it's not that big of an impact on my life. It's like, you know, every, you know, like so often someone will be like, oh, are fun little conversation. So it's not like when earlier this week someone dressed up as Billie, and did you guys see that? There was like an Instagram influencer who dressed up as Billie Eilish and was like mobbed, and then Billie Eilish issued a statement about it. It was like, don't do this, it's dangerous. Trump and Iran. I guess, this isn't the biggest, but something that I've been like talking to a lot of people about is all the Oscar nominations that came out and all the controversy with that. I feel like that's really big in pop culture news, so I'm gonna go with that. I feel like everything, like this week in politics was just like psychotic. I feel like Iowa and the State of the Union and how all the election news is just like being covered right now. It's just, crazy times there. Oh, I was never on the TikTok, but my little brother wants to become TikTok famous, so I'll use this opportunity to plug for him. He's really, really getting up there apparently, so. I'll say TikToks again, and if I think of something better by the end of this, I'll, Okay, those tennis shoes that have the stars on them, and they're like $4 jillion, and some of them like have dirt.
Distressed ones?
Yeah,
yes.
Like they actually have they're pre-dirtied.
Yes.
And I'm like, I don't know if that's real dirt or just like paint or something, but they like look worn in, and they're like $500. I'm really over that trend. I've never really thought of there being rumors about me. Do you guys know any rumors about me? Do you guys know what'd you say?
This is pulled straight from the Billie Eilish video.
Oh, okay. I see. I was like, these are like kind of weird. Like you're trying to tell me something. Yeah, this turns into an intervention. Like all my friends
Frances were worried about you.
A lot of people think I'm a junior, so I'm a senior. Let's dispel that myth. Honestly, I'd still say that people think I'm a junior. I'd like told a couple people about this last week, and some of the answers that I gave, they were like, "You're not a junior," and I was like, "No." So that's a big one. I'm also debating like starting a rumor right here, just like put it out there, Honestly, I'd still say that people think that I'm a junior. I've gotten that still in the last week, like more than I ever knew that people thought that. Also, I think people just think that Veer and I don't exist independently. I don't know if that ever happens to you guys, but people
They're
like
right, though.
That's fair. Yeah, but like in the last week, the amount of times that like Frances and Veer has come up, and it's like wild. Like someone was like, "Oh, you need like Veer left." Someone was like, "Do you mean you need to Frances and Veer left?"
Oh.
And I was like, I can't do this. I do have a boyfriend. Yeah, still do. That would be really sad if like within the 1 week of this, I just like show up crying. Yeah.
Nice.
3 weeks strong. Just honeymoon dating go longer than that. I feel like on my birthday, it was like generally a really good day, but there was this like couple-hour period where I was just like really, really tired, and I was going on my classes, and I kept almost falling asleep. I was like, this is not a good birthday to be almost falling asleep in your classes. That wasn't that much of a, honestly, actually, I was listening to a lot of Billie Eilish that day, so it just generally takes your mood down. Love her so much, but I think that was part of it too. A lot of Billie Eilish, almost falling asleep, and I was just like feeling kind of low. Yesterday I was working on an application for something, and I thought it was due at 11 p.m. And so like, I have this thing where like, even if I have something done, I never want to submit it until like right before the last minute, because it just like gives me more, like, I don't know, I feel better about it. So I was like logging in, ready to submit it, and the application portal went down. And so I was like freaking out because I'd had it done for a while. But then it turned out that the application was due in Hawaiian time, not Eastern time, which I'm like, I didn't even know application, I wasn't really familiar with the time zone that was Hawaiian's, it's like Hawaiian Standard Time. So it turned out well, and then I learned that there's a Hawaiian Standard Time.
Did the application have to do with Hawaii?
No, not at all. So I was applying, I'm still in the application process for this program that is, like, it's based in Latin America. But my kind of reading of the application was like, oh, and how the interview would be was like, like some parts will be in Spanish, some parts will be in English. But it made it sound like it was like an English interview with like a couple of questions at the end in Spanish. And like I speak Spanish, but I was like definitely not ready for an interview level of the conversation in Spanish. And 20 minutes before the interview, I found out that it was all in Spanish. It was just fully in Spanish, and it was specifically like a job for work in like global development. So it's just like a whole category of words there that I do not know at all. So I found out 20 minutes before that the interview was going to be entirely in Spanish, and it was not good. It was not my best performance at all. So, but it was kind of funny. Like I was like, that would happen, you know, finding out 20 minutes before that your interview is in a different language than the one that you speak mainly. So yeah, that was tough. Favorite movie that I've seen recently is Bombshell. I just saw it over the break. It was amazing. My favorite movie of all time is The Big Short, and they're like created by a lot of the same people and like same style. I also really like the movie Up. Probably still, I haven't really seen any movies in the last week, so I would say still Bombshell and The Big Short. So I am going to see Little Women this week though, which I heard is like incredible. And Just Mercy.
I saw it yesterday.
Is it good?
Yeah.
I heard it's amazing. So The Big Short is one of my favorites of all time. I think I also said Bombshell, which I watched over Christmas break, but I think now that I'm a little farther out from that, that's more like, that was kind of a recency effect, you know? Like I still really like it, but I don't think it's at like the top of the top. And I don't know if I've mentioned this one, Frida Kahlo's biopic, because I'm like obsessed with Frida Kahlo. And I've watched that movie like a couple times, and I just kind of forgot about it when we talked about this question previously. Oh, my favorite color is always yellow, and hot pink is tied. Yellow, definitely. Yellow. And hot pink. Do I feel pressure right now?
Just generally.
In general, like, yeah, sometimes. I think it's just like, for like a lot of different reasons. I think being a senior, people, and like a senior at Vandy, a senior who's like, you know, involved and whatnot, it's like people have a lot of expectations of what, like some big thing you're gonna do next. And I feel like there's like a certain amount of pressure there, you know? So I'd say yes, but it's like manageable, you know? I would say yes. For similar reasons as last week, because I still don't know what I'm doing with my life after college. Not in an alarming way, I feel good about it, but just like, you know, there's that sense of like pressure. Yeah, I feel some pressure. I don't know, I think it's just that, yeah, the end of senior year vibes of like, I gotta get it together kind of things, you know? Slow walkers. It's a huge annoyance of mine, especially on Vanderbilt's campus. I was about to say that my other biggest annoyance is being late, but then I realized that's really ironic because I was late to this. So I was like, I'm gonna just expose myself. The last one is the rain. I hate the rain. Yesterday, I got poured on. It was like when the storm was going on, I was walking back from the rec and I had nothing except for my backpack with a laptop in it. And it's not ideal. Being late, and I was early this week, so I was like, I can't have that again. And slow walkers. I think that checks out. I think that's still where I'm at. Yes. Okay. It did annoy me a week ago, but I didn't think about it when we talked about this last time. So one of my biggest pet peeves is when people say like college is the best 4 years of your life. Because I'm like, this has been like an incredible 4 years, or almost 4 years. But I feel like that's just such a bad adage, you know, that we're telling all college students, like, this is it, like, live it up, it's all, you know, like, worse from here. Because I feel like that sets a really bad tone for, like, what your college experience should be, and if you're not having, like, the best of time, like, there's, like, added pressure there, like, it's only worse from here. And then if you are having a good time, it's just, like, sets up, like, the real world as this, like, scary, daunting thing that's never gonna feel, like, as fulfilling or as meaningful, or where you're gonna have as strong relationships. And I think like the choices that you make after college are what affect that life, not the experience that you had here. People not feeling like there's a set path while you're at Vanderbilt or after. That's very ambiguous. And the first stuff, like all the first things I thought of were like policies and like university related things, but I think the biggest thing is if there was just like this general understanding that there wasn't like a type of Vanderbilt student or a type of Vanderbilt experience that you should be striving for, or like a couple of key paths to take. That's what I would like the most. it would be if like Vanderbilt was just like the greenest campus in the entire country. If we had like if we moved all our renewable energy and carbon neutrality goals up to like 2030, and then just like balled out on sustainability, that would be my dream. Just being like the leader in institutional sustainability, like there's so many cool things that we could do in that space, and just like knocking it out of the park and being known as like this is like the sustainable campus. That's one. And then the other one I think is culturally, they're not putting so much pressure on everyone. That's not like super deep, but I think that's something that I've been, like I said, like thinking about more lately. And it's like the culture here. And I don't know, I was talking to a freshman last week who was just like so stressed. Academics, like organizations, like being overcommitted, not having enough time, like feeling, you know, I think as a freshman often a lot of us feel like uncertain about our relationships and friendships. I was like, it's just like so hard to see that like level of stress so early on. Billie. So I've taken a break from Billie, and I would say my like all-time favorite music artist is Catfish and the Bottle One, and like I love them so much. And recently I discovered a playlist that they have of just their like complete discography, so I've just been like going through that. So my previous ones stand as like still my favorite music artist, but I'm seeing Dr. Dollar tonight, so they are my one for this week. I would say, I think I think each person leads very differently, so I would say like I will say the best approach for me I think has been kind of number one, like balancing having your own life with a leadership position, because I think people like burn out so easily or just become like extremely like frustrated and dissatisfied if your only thing is like leadership, you know. And I think kind of similarly is like building a lot of like really strong relationships with people who are a part of what you're a part of, because I think like what I love about BSG is like some of my best friends in the entire world are in that organization, or people I've like gotten to work with through that organization. When you just get to work on things you're really passionate about with people that you love, like it doesn't really always like feel like work or like leadership. It's just like you're getting to be a part of something really special. I would say being optimistic and bringing kind of a spirit of like both happiness and self-awareness, especially on Vanderbilt's campus. Like I guess I'm tailoring this answer to leadership on Vanderbilt's campus, because I think everyone can kind of get caught up in the like involvement school like repeat kind of cycle, and sometimes you miss like really important things in people's in like your friends' lives or in your own like personal self-care life, or just like doing fun things like this, you know, you like miss out on those things. So I think just like being self-aware that a position is always just that, and your personhood and entire being means so much more to anyone than what you do in a role. Like being yourself and making sure everyone else knows that that's kind of both like the expectation and the freedom given to them. It's like we should all come to our meetings, come to any initiatives, and come to like any event with like, you know, like bring the person you are, the passions you have, and the perspectives that you carry, because that's what like makes the strongest groups. So two of my suite mates, Anna Sanju and Ruthie Perlman, I met them both like literally day one of freshman year. We all went backpacking, basically spent a week like a weekend in the woods together, and like since then have been like homies. Veer, as I said, my VP and just like incredible person. Who else? Rachel Gross, Shay Kiker. I love them. Tam Wheat. I just got lunch with Tam. We also go back to being day ones with Tommy when we were all house presidents together. And my Mila Sikorsky, she's junior. She is my little in my sorority, and then Gwen Raniger was my big in my sorority. She graduated, so she's not Vanderbilt anymore. The list last week stands. I believe I said my roommates Anna and Ruthie, and my friends Veer and Tam also, and my little Mila. She just went abroad, so I'm really sad about that, but I'm really happy for her. to go on her adventures. My big Gwen, my friend from home. I realized I forgot my friends from home last week when we talked about this. So my best friend from home, Anaga, came in town this weekend, so definitely her. And then my friends Elise and Catherine from home also. My roommate, Anna. My sweet mate, Ruthie. Lizzie, Gabby, Tam. I'm getting lunch with Tam after this. I'm excited. And then Mila, my little, Gwen, my big, my friends from home. Oh, Veer, Gwen, Tommy and Alex. I mean, no, of course, that we're starting this weekly vlog. Google Calendar, the New York Times crossword, because I love crossword puzzles so much, and like that's my number one. Like, I mean, some people would say like that's procrastination. I personally think it's like, you know, it's like a fun little hobby. The New York Times crossword and Google Calendar, those are definitely just tied. So I'm struggling with knowing what the next chapter of my life is like. I don't know what my post-grad plans are yet, and I think again there's kind of this expectation of like seniors coming from Vanderbilt that you're gonna do something like really cool and like impressive. So I feel like the pressure of that, then also like some amount of self-imposed pressure that I really want to make sure what I do next is like what I want to be doing, and it's something like that is a part of building the life that I want to have, not just, you know, like as like step to follow a box to check off. Number one, I have gone like really behind on answering emails and texts, and I hate that because I always feel like if you don't respond to someone, you might like, it seems like you don't care, you know? So that's like literally what's next on my list of things to do today. I just have to respond to everything. Because I just like hate that feeling of people thinking like, oh, you're too busy. Because I've seen a couple people that've been like, oh, no worries, I know you're super busy. And I'm like, that's like the last way that I would ever want someone to describe me or like excuse me not like, you know, responding to their message. And because I care, you know. And the other thing, I guess it's like kind of related, but I feel like last week with the whole like birthday thing, I was just feeling kind of like, oh my gosh, like do people care about me as much as I care about them, like that kind of vibe, which I think it's easy for everyone to like get that way at times. So I think I was just like doing some self-reflection, and I was like, no, I have like some amazing friends and like people who love me, and so then I was like, it was kind of one of those things of like, you just, I feel like you can get in your head, I can get in my head really easily about like my friendships and relationships, but then it's just like taking a step back and being like, oh, you have such an amazing support system. So it's just like leaning on those people. I'd say kind of like hitting the balance that I talked about earlier of like I think I do have senioritis in a way of like, oh, I don't want to be doing schoolwork all the time, but I still really care about my classes. So it's like wanting to do well there, like trying to figure out post-grad plans and kind of being in the middle of like interview stages right now, and then also wanting to have like a lot of meeting and fun times with like really important people in my life. Another part of that balance is VSG and like finishing my term out really strongly. That should have been included earlier too, because that's really important to me, that I don't just like drop the ball. I hope you and Anaga had a really great time in Nashville, and that's my best friend from home. This goes to what I was saying earlier. Like, I hope that every day, that next week, you find like moments of joy and moments of adventure amongst the busyness of this season. I'm proud of you.
We thought we would bring your mom out.
Oh my god! Wow, my mom. This is so great. When is this even from? Oh my gosh, this is from Move-In, the freshman year.
Well, last up, we brought your mom.
Oh my gosh! Wow, this is so special. Again.
Alright, last but not least, we brought your mom.
Oh my gosh, mom again. This is so crazy. I think I have 3 different photos also.
It's because we found her Facebook.
Yeah. Oh, Cricket. My mom's name is Cricket. That's what I meant by that. So.
It's her pet name for her mom.
Yes. No, her name is actually Cricket. You see? Cricket Benoit Burton.
Oh wait, who does this episode go out to for you?
Oh, this goes out to Tommy and Alex, of course.
Oh,
thank you guys.
Oh, thank you. Yay.